Why the fuck would the Mavs do this?
Before Thursday, you quite literally could have gotten 29 trade offers. This could be one of the biggest trades in sports history.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Double D Report. Obviously, this is a weird episode for us, but it's an emergency episode. It's an episode that we have to talk about. What happened last night was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. Luka Doncic got traded. No one expected this, and me and Dean have to talk about this. Dean?
Yeah,
Let's start talking.
quite possible. Quite possibly the biggest trade in NBA history here. Luka Doncic. You can look at all the different factors within the trade. I like the Lakers did give up a first-round pick as well, but essentially this was Luka Doncic straight up for Anthony Davis, which is just an absolute blockbuster if we've ever seen one. I think not only could this maybe be the biggest trade in NBA history, this could be one of the biggest trades in sports history, not only just because of the star power involved, but also because of the sheer surprise factor to it, where nobody in this lifetime was thinking Luka Doncic was going to get traded before the deadline come Thursday. So, this is an interesting one to talk about.
I'm just scrolling through Instagram, and I see a notification. No, I see NBA post something, ESPN post something. I'm like, all right, let me check. I see AD and Luka, and there's a finalized trade. And I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, let me say this one thing. Why the fuck would the Mavs do this?
Back to your point, though, just the surprise. Like, I think this is the first time in history where the entire internet collectively thought that ESPN reporters were getting hacked.
Yeah.
Because of what was tweeted by Shams last night, which is just absolutely insane. That being said, diving into the trade a little bit, yes, I do agree that I'm not entirely sure why Dallas did this trade, other than the fact that maybe they just didn't want to pay the Supermax for Luka, and or they didn't think he was going to re-sign with them, which is kind of stupid to begin with because the only team that he could have gotten the Supermax from was the Dallas Mavericks. So there are different factors here. They must have just completely thought that they weren't going anywhere with him anymore, which is a wild accusation to think, considering not only is Luka Doncic quite literally a top 3 player within the NBA, he's 25 years old. 25 years old. He's averaging 28, 8, and 8. He has not averaged less than 27 points since his rookie year. He has not averaged less than 8 rebounds since his rookie year. He has not averaged less than 7 assists since his rookie year. This is a guy that's almost averaging across the last 6 years of his career a triple-double.
It's fucking insane.
And they traded him for Anthony Davis.
I don't understand it. And how I'm seeing it is like this. Maybe Mark Cuban and the fucking Mavericks are seeing all right, I have Kyrie, Clay, Gafford, who's a good young guy, and AD. Maybe we could win a championship off of that team. But Luka is, as you said, he's 25. He's one of the best players in the league. And now he's getting sent off to LA to play with LeBron and that roster. But overall, this might be a hot take. I think it will benefit the Mavs now more than it will benefit the Lakers now, in my opinion.
So look, I completely do agree that AD and Kyrie are a better fit here together than Luka and LeBron. Luka and LeBron are very similar prototypes where they do demand the ball a lot, where they do, who's going to take the last shot during the end of the game sort of thing. And I think that's why it kind of didn't work. You can honestly argue that it worked with Kyrie and Luka because they did make a championship, but at the same time, they couldn't take that next step because it was kind of that dual impact where they were always butting heads in terms of ball hogging. So I do agree that Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving on paper should be an absolutely phenomenal match, right? I think that's safe to say. But at the same time, I got to see it play out because I'm so skeptical of how those things go. We've seen so many quote-unquote unbelievable, unstoppable duos in the NBA that just never worked out. Harden and Paul, KD and Kyrie, KD and Booker currently. I mean, this isn't a sure thing. It doesn't. Sure, they're superstars, but they have to gel.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense from a Mavericks point of view, especially when this is my biggest thing. If you're the Mavericks and you knew you were going to trade Luka Doncic, right? You could have got max value for this guy for your organization.
I don't understand.
Sure, you want to stay in a win mode now with Kyrie, Clay, PJ Washington, Gafford, all those very nice pieces. I get it. But Mikal Bridges got 5 first-round picks.
Yeah.
If you look at it from a perspective on that, Luka Doncic easily could have gotten 8 or 9 first-round picks from elsewhere.
Dude, I think I
The
could have got
best
more.
course of action for the Mavericks, I 100% agree. The best course of action from the Mavericks is they could have went the OKC route where they traded their star player, got an absolute fuck ton of picks here, and went on an absolute spree of building unbelievable talent in the draft and being a superstar team for the next 5 years like OKC is doing now. I'm not saying that
It's
way works every time
yeah.
because you have to be able to draft right, but still.
It's the thing. You're 100% right with like the picks. Is like I'm expecting like there to be like more picks to show up in this trade, but I'm only seeing AD, Matt,
And 1 first-round pick.
which is, and the thing that's crazy to me is the Mavs approached the Lakers about this.
I know. What the biggest mistake that the Mavericks made is, and clearly because they only went to the Lakers, they thought they needed to stay championship winning now, which is why they went after Anthony Davis. But if you leaked it out to the league before Thursday, you quite literally could have gotten 29 trade offers
Oh,
from
100%.
every team
Every
in the
team.
NBA. So I feel like this was a complete missed opportunity from the Mavericks to not only stay a contender, because there are other players in the league that could make you stay a contender, but then completely blow this trade out of the water and for lack of a better term, destroy a team in terms of a trade.
Yeah.
I
It,
just thought it was a missed opportunity on the Dallas Mavericks part.
you know what's crazy? Like I think that they could have sent Luka to the 76ers and get Embiid and a couple picks. Honestly.
It, honestly, you're 100% correct. However, if I'm looking from a Mavericks point of view, I do want Anthony Davis over Joel Embiid.
Yeah, because
That's just me.
defense for like defensive standpoint.
Defensive purposes, health purposes, even though Anthony Davis has had his share of health issues. But I mean, we all saw the stat a couple of weeks ago where Embiid has almost played less games than he's missed in his career,
Yeah.
which is just absolutely absurd.
It's
But
one one thing I will say. Like I'm wondering how AD feels because like there's nothing he could have done. Because if the Lakers are saying getting across their table, all right, the Mavs just sent us a trade. First player, Luka Doncic. How do you say no to that? How do you say no
you
to that?
don't. You
Like
don't. They could have almost said any sort of price package, and I think the Lakers would have said yes.
because obviously how good he is, his age.
When you don't pass up on a 25-year-old superstar. This is like the equivalent of a team of OKC calling up a team and saying, "Hey, Shy's on the table."
It's I was so shocked last night. Like I was in shock for probably had to be an hour.
And then on the flip side of it, if you look at it from a Lakers point of view, right? If you're the Lakers GM, this is a no-lose situation
Palinka.
because on one side, right, LeBron is aging. He's not getting any younger. He's still great. He is still on top of the NBA, top 10 in terms of just pure ability and pure stature, right? I'm not denying that. But one of two things could happen. One, you do make a run with Luka and LeBron. And it's a win-win because LeBron's only getting older and you only have so many chances at this if you're a Lakers. Two, it doesn't work out. Luka and LeBron don't gel. However, you sign Luka to a long-term deal, and then you just have your new cornerstone piece of the franchise transitioning from LeBron to Luka, which is absolutely astounding. And I'm very curious to see who the mastermind between this trade is on the Lakers side, because if it's the GM, you have a couple of decisions to make. Do you keep LeBron? Do you trade him ahead of the Thursday deadline, which is always a possibility, and then
He
just
gets
kind of,
traded.
I mean, look, would anything surprise you at this point?
No.
Which is just unbelievable, right? You could trade him, get assets back, build around Luka, and you'll have a good team for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. It's he as you said, like He's consistently been good. And last year, arguably, he was the MVP.
I know.
What was he averaging? 34, 10, and 10 or something like that?
Who, Luka?
Luka. I don't know exactly what he was averaging.
Luka was averaging 34, 10, and 9.
Like, how do you just give him up for an aging? All right, this is how I see it. An aging AD. Who else did they get out of that? It was AD and who else?
The full trade was AD, a first round pick for oh god, and Max Christie for Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. So that's why I said earlier it's basically a 1-for-1.
And then you want to know what's fucking crazy is that Utah is just there just to get I don't know why they were even there. They got they got Horton Tucker or something like that.
They got Jalen Hood and 2 draft picks and a second rounder.
Like, I don't understand.
So Utah was kind of just there to facilitate.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, they probably ended up on a great side of this, getting draft picks that they probably didn't deserve.
Yeah, they got more draft picks than the fucking Mavs.
I know. Look, it's just a crazy situation because in no way, shape, and form did anybody ever in this world think Luka Doncic was going to get traded. Not to mention Luka kind of gets fucked. I'm putting fucked in quotations because it's so much money anyway. But now he's no longer eligible for the Supermax.
Yeah, which sucks.
Which sucks for him, but still he's going to get stupid money. So in the short term, who gives a shit? But on his paper, he's not only not getting the Supermax, he's fucking livid at the Mavericks for trading him for not getting the Supermax. But now he has a new opportunity in a new situation.
And also, the thing that also sucks for him, he's going to get taxed like a motherfucking out in LA.
Well, that too. But look, and this is all, on point. I think a lot of people do forget this. Who knows? Maybe Luka doesn't re-sign with the Lakers.
Imagine Luka enters free. Oh my god!
Because if he enters free agency, not only is he going to get every single team in the league is going to give him the max deal, so that's not going to be an issue. He kind of does get to quite literally choose where he wants to go.
Oh my god, that's sick. That's like sickening to even hear.
Yeah, so you can look at it from that perspective where, sure, the Lakers only gave up only AD and a first round pick, but they also did take on that, fear factor that he doesn't re-sign with them.
Well, can't they sign him with an extension this year?
That's the thing. They can sign him with an extension. However, it can't be the Supermax. So he would get the same amount of money from every team. So if I'm Luka, I'm not going to lie with you. I'm entering free agency.
That's bold. Ooh.
It's not bold. You're going to get whatever money and whatever years you want from elsewhere, and you essentially get to choose where you want to play.
All right, so this is the one thing I don't know about the NBA. So obviously AD had a big contract with the Lakers.
Yeah.
How does that? Do they take a cap hit by trading him, or no? The cap is like swapped over?
Well. So from what I understand, and anybody in the comments, please tell us if we're wrong. It's just the team that's taking you is taking on your salary. Unless in this case there was the third party like Utah, maybe they took on some salary somewhere.
Yeah, because by trading AD, that opens up a lot of cap.
Of course. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, he's demanding like 40+ million.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're the Lakers, you don't give a shit because you're going to be giving that to Luka anyway.
Exactly. You're giving up an older center to then pay for a younger guard.
Money is no object in this trade.
Exactly.
On either side, they don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
They're literally just looking at logistics. The Lakers, you could say, definitely took on more risk only because you could see Luka leaving and entering free agency. I get it, but at the same time, if you're going to trade him, it's just stupid on the Mavericks' point to not get absolute max value where you could have gotten an unreal load of picks in this trade.
Easily. Even if it got leaked a day. For maybe 8 hours, honestly, I think every team was all
Oh
teams.
my god. There are so many teams in the NBA that would have loved to have Luka and that would have just thrown first round picks and talent at the Mavericks.
Dude, imagine OKC.
OKC shouldn't. That's probably maybe one of the teams that wouldn't have done it, right? Just because you don't want to ruin that cohesiveness. But it's just astonishing to me. Like, It really is one of the biggest trades in NBA history because of the surprise factor and just the fact that nobody saw this coming, and the fact that the Mavericks, reports on however true they are, the reason they were trying to move Luka was because they had major concerns about his constant conditioning issues. So basically, you traded Luka because you're afraid that he's going to continuously get fatter.
That is fucking the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I hope that's a joke. I really hope to God that is a
The
joke.
the other the other factor of it is maybe he didn't want the Supermax. Maybe he wasn't going to sign with Dallas anyway. We don't know what was happening internally, right?
Yeah,
So these conversations that we're having, sure, it's shock on our end. But if he already went to the Mavericks and said, "Yeah, I'm not coming back,"
yeah,
and then fuck it, right? Who gives a shit?
yeah,
Then you trade him, get value. Clearly, the Mavericks took the route where they want to win now,
yeah. Now, this is my
and
question.
it's commendable.
Wasn't Luke? Correct me if I'm wrong. Luca is he still injured, or is he coming back?
He's coming back. Like this guy, it's not a major injury. There's nothing crazy wrong with him. He's going to be fine for the stretch run. And besides, like the Lakers have proven where they can win games without AD. So even if Luka misses a few more games, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but oh my god, dude, this is the one thing. Like, I wonder how LeBron feels in this situation.
It's hard to take what LeBron says for a lot because he is a pathological liar. um, like it was just last week that he was saying AD's the best player on the team, and we don't know where we'd be without him, and all that fun shit. But then tomorrow, when he probably goes onto a press conference, or even today on this surprise press conference, he's going to say Luka Doncic is the best player in the league. I'm so happy we got him. Blah blah blah. So what these players say, you take for a grain of salt because it's a business. So if I'm LeBron, the way I see this, honestly, if I don't get traded ahead of Thursday, I got another shot here. If we gel, I got another shot here to chip. And if I do get traded before Thursday, god damn, it better be to a chip team.
But I don't think they're gonna. I think LeBron and Luca are probably gonna. I don't see them trading LeBron. I think
I
getting
don't
rid.
see it either.
I think them getting rid of AD is what they wanted to. Well, not what they wanted to do. It was handed to them pretty much. So I think right now, because obviously they have to talk about LeBron's deal and Luca's deal this year if they
Yep.
want to keep them both.
Well, let's
Well, they're gonna
let's
go for
be.
Luca first, obviously.
Yeah, no shit. Who if I'm the Lakers, I'm sorry. At the end of the year, I'm quite literally not even calling LeBron James until a Luka deal is done. I could give a rat's ass about LeBron James
Yeah,
until Luka is signed under me for long term.
100%. Now, did he just turned 25, right? Or is he
He
turning?
just turned 25.
Oh my god.
I mean, this kid, he's a kid. He's quite literally a kid.
It's just baffled. I still can't comprehend why the Mavs would do this. I understand they want to win a championship, but how I see
Yeah.
it is this: is you gotta think about it. Kyrie has been with so many different superstars. He's been with LeBron. He won one championship. He's been with KD. Did shit. He was with young Tatum, Jalen Brown, and all them did shit.
Not to mention, he on that KD team, he was also with Harden.
Yeah, and he was also with Harden. Who? Am I forgetting a team?
I don't think so.
Nets,
It was,
Celtics,
yeah.
Cavs.
You're good. You're good. You got it.
Yeah, and then now the Mavs. And him and
And
Luca were doing. They won their championship last year.
exactly. So it's the matter of a fact where if you're from a Mavericks perspective, and so let's just assume internally, right? They knew Luka was going to have issues with the supermax, that he wanted to leave. So you trade him. You want to get max value. Not max value, but you want to win now. So you go out there and get AD. On paper, man, Kyrie and AD are a match made in heaven.
Oh, they are. They are.
They really are. And this is, we're not giving a slight to Kyrie because he's still averaging 24 points. He's still averaging almost 5 bounds, almost 5 assists. So he's still a phenomenal point guard within this league. And then AD stats speak for themselves. He's probably the best center in the league other than Jokic. So on paper, man, God, it's going to be tough to stop
And
them.
and also don't forget about Clay. They have Clay.
They have Clay, they have PJ Washington, all those. But I continue to emphasize on paper. We've seen it again and again where these situations just don't work out.
Yeah.
Where you see two superstars on a team together and you're like, oh my God, they're going to be unstoppable. And the next thing you know, they're trading all of them because they suck together.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be skeptical in my own mind for the Mavericks point of view, and I'm gonna see how this plays out. But I think there's gonna be a lot more action ahead of Thursday's deadline.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't even. I forgot Thursday's the deadline. Shit. And the crazy thing is, in our last podcast, we both said that that's the thing good about the NBA. There are trades you won't expect, and they
Yep.
just happen. This
Yeah.
no
No,
one. No
we
one.
were saying this was going to be a good deadline anyway
Yeah.
because there's some really good pieces out there. But now, oh my God, no, I don't think anybody in the world was mentioning Luka Doncic or Anthony Davis in trade talks.
No.
And if you were, my God, kid, go play the lottery.
Yeah. Actually, go play the lottery. That's.
So
Oh my god. Well, if you could give a grade on the trade on
yep.
both sides, because fuck Utah. What would the grades be? I have mine,
Oh,
but I want to hear
it's
yours first.
it's so tough because there's so many different factors that could go into this.
Yeah.
Like from a Lakers perspective, I'm thinking in my head, I don't even give a shit if you win a championship, but if you don't re-sign Luka, this is an F.
Yeah.
But and then at the same time, I look from the Mavericks point of view, you're kind of at now a championship or at least make it to the championship and bust type of season.
Yes.
So, I mean, looking away from the factors and just looking at this from a pure, perspective of on paper what the trade was given, AD for Luka kind of deal, I'm gonna give the Lakers here a B, and I'm gonna give the Mavericks like a C minus.
Really? That's crazy.
That's my point of view, just because of how well it could work out for the Lakers in the long run.
I think you're being not so generous towards the Lakers. I'm giving the Lakers an A on this because I'm thinking of the future. Honestly, like all they have to do, they have to obviously it's a hard thing, but sign Luka. You had
Yeah, that's the key.
It's an A if you get Luka.
It is an A plus if you sign him to an extension and have him as your corner piece for the rest of his career. It is an F if he leaves in free agency.
Oh, 100%. But for the Mavs, in my eyes, I think it's upper D plus. The only reason why I'm saying is obviously AD and Kyrie, they're good. They could be good together. It's just you got to think about your future, and you got rid of your future for a championship this year. When last year, when you had Luka, you went to the fucking championship. So I see no point in them doing this, which is why I'm giving them a D plus at best.
No, it's the truth because you brought up a great point. The Dallas Mavericks have now completely mortgaged their future. Unless in the offseason or next year you trade both Anthony Davis and Kyrie after giving it one shot this year and get max value for first picks.
But you want to know what's crazy? They would have got more first round picks for Luka by himself
Of
than
course.
them two.
No doubt about it. However, I will say Anthony Davis will definitely demand quite a few first round picks.
Oh yeah.
Kyrie, maybe not so much.
Yeah. But AD wouldn't get a lot.
I think the Mavericks made this trade simply for the sole purpose of going for it this year.
But why go for it this year?
And then they're going to reassess after the year on how it goes. Like, because if you make the championship after this year, right? Hypothetically speaking, if you make the championship and lose, let's say, or if you make the conference finals and lose to an OKC or a Denver this year, right? You can maybe have that sort of mentality where we are close. Maybe we just have to add another really good piece to Kyrie and AD. On the other flip side of it, you get out first round, you blow it up, you trade it all for first round picks.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting prospect to look at.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Oh my god, dude. I'm just so shocked. I'm still shocked by this.
How I predict this is gonna go, I predict the Dallas Mavericks do make it to at least the conference finals. I think they then in this offseason try to sign one more very good piece and go for it again next year. On the flip side of it, I think Luka and LeBron do not work out, and I think Luka leaves in free agency.
Wow. Well, I know you. You're a LeBron. You don't like LeBron.
Whoa! I do not dislike LeBron. He is the goat of my time. He
Okay.
is by far the best player that I've ever seen play and may ever see play. All right. I just think that, and it's. I just don't think at this stage in his career he's going to work well with others.
I disagree with you,
Okay.
but this is how I see it. I see that the Mavericks get eliminated in the second round.
Yeah.
I don't see them going to the championship. For some reason, the feeling that I have, and it might be fucking crazy, because the Lakers can still do shit. They can still get a center in this within the trade deadline. So if they lock down a center, a good defensive center, or if they just keep the team the way it is, I think they can make it to the conference championship, and even potentially the finals.
So, so look, I get what you're saying. I truly do. Are the Lakers going to? I can't see the Lakers mortgaging any more of their future picks for this year. I can't see it. I just can't see it because of all the different fear factors here. Luka could leave in free agency and not sign a max extension with you, and then your entire situation is fucked.
Yeah, but if you got to think about it like this, maybe if you haven't sit, hey, Rob Pelinka goes, all right, Luca, come into the office. Goes, all right, what do you want around this team to make it your team? Because overall, that's how you got to think about it.
He
Is LeBron?
could.
LeBron's gonna leave. He's gonna retire soon. He even said he's coming to the end of his career.
Yes.
So Rob is focusing mainly on Luca. Why not sit him down and try to get a center before the deadline?
Here's my thing, Derek. There's no more supermax on the table. So any team in the NBA can do the same thing to Luka in free agency. They can say, we're going to give you the max deal, and we want your input on how we can build a championship team. It's not just Pelinka and the Lakers who can do this now.
Yeah, I know that, but why wouldn't Luca want to play with LeBron? LeBron's what?
But because LeBron's getting older, you can essentially look at it from Luka's perspective and say, this may be the last year I do get to play with LeBron. So why, who gives a shit?
I don't know. Me personally, I think that's the best case scenario that would happen for Luca is him staying on the Lakers. But that just might be me because you got to think about
I
it.
don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm purely saying off of this is that there's a lot of young players on the Lakers who are good. Obviously, there's Austin Reeves, who's good, a good young player. There's LeBron, obviously. Then they have Vanderbilt. I believe so. I believe they still have Vanderbilt. They have Vanderbilt,
I mean,
Rui Hachimura. They have a bunch of young, good pieces, Dean.
I get it. I do. I really do get it. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of other teams out there that Luka would be better off on.
Yeah, but
That's just my
gotta
opinion.
think about it like this. For example, Milwaukee, they can't put out the money for Luka. They do not have enough money to put out for Luka.
No.
You got
Could,
the Clippers, they can't do that.
There are better teams suited with younger players who are on the brink of really creating a dynasty. That if you add Luka to them, they will start winning games and they will potentially start winning championships.
The only perfect fit in my mind off the top of my head instantly is the Rockets. That's the only team I can think of.
The two teams that I was thinking of, quite literally, the Rockets and the Pistons.
I don't think the Pistons. I think the Pistons will just stay stature. The Rockets is, my opinion, the best and the only one.
The Pistons, you'd be surprised. The Pistons have a lot of good young players. A lot of good young players.
Well, Jaden Ivey's not coming back for maybe this year and next year.
I get it. You can also argue the Memphis Grizzlies. Put him with Ja.
Oh God.
I mean, I'm just spitballing here, right? You can argue the Minnesota Timberwolves. Get rid of Julius and pair him with AD. I mean, pair him with Anthony Edwards,
and Rudy. All right, I see where you're coming from, but from my standpoint, obviously, I just see the young players there. I don't see why he would leave the situation he's in because realistically, LeBron's not retiring for 3 years, and within that time, a lot of shit could happen.
it's going to be a very interesting offseason, but at the same time, it's going to be a very interesting deadline the rest of the season because I'm curious to see how it works out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think we spoke about a lot about this trade. I think we did a good job about this.
Yep.
Obviously, if big trades like this, well, I don't think like this, but big trades happen, we're gonna be doing this again. Like
Yep.
if De'Aaron Fox gets traded, we'll make a small little video about it and talk about it. But
Yep.
as of now, this is the biggest trade that you and me can agree that we've seen in our lifetime. One of.
One of, yes. Yeah.
So obviously, more shit to come. Podcast coming next, full episode coming next week. Like,
Yep.
subscribe, follow on TikTok, Instagram, and if you have any opinions on this trade, put it in the comments and I'll be answering them, and Dean will be answering them too. Peace.